Good afternoon. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Economic Development and Regulatory Services Committee for today, August 27th. I've been joined by my colleagues, Councilmember Gordon, Ellison, Fletcher, and Cano, which is a quorum of the committee. Councilmember Cunningham wasn't feeling well, but I would guess he's probably watching this right now. So hi, we'll say hi to you. We have a very brief agenda today. The consent agenda consists of the liquor license approvals and the liquor license renewals, gambling license approvals and gambling license renewals, business license operating conditions for Provision Community Restaurant, and contract amendments with eligible providers for our employment and training services. Is there anyone who would like to pull any of the items on consent, items 4 through 9? Seeing none, I'll move approval of the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those items are approved. We have a joint public hearing with the MCDA Operating Committee, so I will call attendance for the joint operating committee and note that Commissioner Cano, Fletcher, Ellison, and Gordon are present along with myself, the chair. This is a joint public hearing on the Minnesota Hillel bond issuance at 1521 University Avenue Southeast. Mr. Curtis, welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. You have before you a request for the issuance of up to $5.5 million in bank-qualified, bank-direct revenue bonds. This is for the Minnesota Hillel, and they are going to rehab their building at 1521 University Avenue Southeast, and it's a major undertaking to change the building and bring it up into today's world. The Minnesota Hillel is a nonprofit. It serves the Jewish student population at the University of Minnesota. It was established in 1940. In case there's any question, there is a small section, roughly 700 square feet in the building, that could be designated as religious. That particular aspect or part of the building will be paid for with equity, and revenue bonds will not be used to pay for those improvements. Bremer Bank is the purchaser of the bonds, and we have a representative here should you have any questions.
Okay, are there any questions for Mr. Curtis on item number 1? Is there anyone from Hillel here to speak to this issue? Okay, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing and then invite you up. This is a public hearing on item number 1, a joint hearing between the MCDA and the EDRS committee, giving preliminary and final approval to up to $5.5 million in 501c3 bank-qualified bank tax-direct bonds. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
Thank you for having me. My name is Benji Kaplan. I'm the Executive Director of the University of Minnesota Hillel organization. We are seeking this improvement in that after 56 years in our current facility, it is no longer accessible to many of our students, and the heating and roofing and window systems and everything else in the building has started to deteriorate. We are planning to move out in November no matter what, and are hoping to have this approved so that we can start the process of being back in for next academic school year.
Great, thank you. Thank you for being here today. Is there anyone else here to speak to this issue? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Fletcher.
Thank you, Chair Goodman. This Hillel facility was a nice part of my own University of Minnesota experience a while ago, and I hope that access to these resources makes it a nice part of lots of people's experience at the University of Minnesota for many, many years to come. I'll move approval.
Approval has been moved of item number 1. Further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. Mazel tov to you. Good for you going forward. We'll move on to item number 2, which is Bar Brava at 1914 Washington Avenue North. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair and committee members. My name is Phil Cottrell. I'm the Licensed Inspector assigned to the 4th Precinct. I'm presenting an application from Bar Brava, owned by Bar Brava LLC, at 1914 Washington Avenue North, which is located in Ward 5. The applicant is requesting an on-sale wine with strong beer license with no live entertainment, which, if approved, they intend to make Bar Brava a neighborhood gathering place to share in food and wine in a positive and inviting environment. The hours of operation will be from 4 p.m. to midnight, Tuesday through Saturday, and from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday. On August the 8th, 2019, public hearing notices were sent to residents and property owners within 600 feet of the premises. Notices were also sent to the West Broadway Business and Area Coalition, the Northside Residents Redevelopment Council, and to Councilmember Ellison. We haven't received any comments from the community. There have been no significant 311 or police calls that can be attributable to the business. The License and Consumer Services Division recommends approval of an on-sale wine with strong beer license with no live entertainment for Bar Brava.
Thank you for your report, Mr. Cottrell. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Please step forward and state your name and address for the record.
Hi, I'm Nick Anderson. I'm 50% owner of Bar Brava and the chef.
I'm Dan Rice. I'm also 50% owner and wine guy of Bar Brava. And I'd like to thank you guys for having us here today. Very much appreciate that. And just a bit about the space is, it's a wine bar that's inspired by some of our travels and times in me in New York and Nick in San Francisco. And, want to make this a community gathering place where people can come share in wine and food and community. And I think there's been a great beer community here, but less so on the wine front, and we hope to change that, particularly for this neighborhood. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here today. Is there anyone else here to speak to this issue? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Ellison.
Thank you, Chair, and I'm happy to move approval of these items.
Approval of item number 2 has been moved. Further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. We'll move on to our last public hearing agenda item. Mr. Cervantes, welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, committee members. My name is Max Cervantes, and I'm a licensed inspector assigned to the 1st Precinct. I'm presenting an application from One Fermentary and Tap Room, owned by One Minneapolis Brewing Company, LLC. The business address is 618 North 5th Street, located in Ward 5. The applicant is requesting an on-sale liquor with Sunday sales and general entertainment license, as well as an off-sale malt liquor growler license. The proposed hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. daily on the interior and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily on the exterior. One Fermentary Tap Room has an indoor seating for 177 and outdoor seating for 60 on a private patio. On August 5th, public hearing notices were sent to residents and property owners within 450 feet of the premises. Multi-unit buildings were posted. Notices were also sent to the North Loop Association, North Loop Neighborhood Association, the Warehouse District Business Association, and Councilmember Ellison. We have received one comment from the community in support of this application. One Fermentary and Tap Room is a new business in a recently constructed commercial building. The applicant will offer general entertainment in the form of live musicians, spoken word artists, and comedians. The Licenses and Consumer Services Division recommends approval of an on-sale liquor with Sunday sales and general entertainment license, as well as an off-sale malt liquor growler license for One Fermentary and Tap Room. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Mr. Cervantes? Seeing none, we'll open the public hearing on item number 3, which is an application for an on-sale liquor license with Sunday sales for One Fermentary. Who is here to speak to this issue? Please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
You may have to do some adjusting of our microphones here, down and up. I'm Sally Schmidt, and my address is 5107 Wooddale Avenue in Edina, Minnesota. And this is my partner, Ramsey.
Ramsey Lauder. My address is 3526 Irving Avenue North, Minneapolis. And I'm a part owner and the head brewer of One.
So we are very excited about our new venture, and we hope that you will be too. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us and for meeting with us earlier. We think we're bringing something different to the North Loop. I know there are other breweries there, but ours is a brew pub, and so we're hoping to offer a little wider experience with different kinds of beverages and the food menu. We also are really going to operate on an inclusive and diverse basis, and we are working very hard. We have 9 diverse muralists that are going to come in and paint in our place, and we're sort of making it part of our DNA and how we, who we have and who we hire and things like that. We also will be working very hard on Ramsey's beer, which we're going to be, that's why we call ourselves a fermentary. We're emphasizing different forms of fermentation, concrete, steel, wood, fooders, things like that. We're working hard to get involved in the community in the North Loop and getting involved in the neighborhood association and the business association, and also helping to start up a North Loop fermenters group so we can sort of make it a destination for craft drinkers. So I don't know if you want to add anything, Ramsey?
You hit every point. Yeah, like Sally pointed out, we want to focus on diversity and as far as not only customers, but the people we hire. We like it to be just a wide range of ethnic groups, financially, whatever we can do to be different from most of craft beer as it currently stands. So that's kind of our driving force behind everything. Every decision we make, from beer to the space to, people. Mm-hmm. So we're excited. We're thankful you gave us a time to address you, and we hope we have your support.
Thank you for your testimony, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak to this issue? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Ellison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did get to have a great conversation at open office hours with this group, and so between this and Bar Brava, it looks like we got a lot of exciting things coming to the ward, and so I'm happy to move approval.
Approval has been moved of item number 3. Further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. Seeing no further business before us, we are adjourned.